Testing. I don't know if it's actually a recording because in the beginning gets cut off. Hey, Captain Canada here, or Joseph if you prefer. I'm live from Grande, Prairie, Alberta. We're just walking down Main Street, and we'll be headed through the park and up to the hospital there because I gotta see my dad. Yeah, but we can chat about some things on the way there. And I might be back later to do another live stream later on, but it might just be the one today. I'm an hour late. I should be starting at 6 o'clock. Want to do 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock live streams, but somehow that turned into a 7 o'clock live stream. I'm not good at keeping schedules. I do apologize for that. In case anybody tried to plan their day around something that I said, that would be a real pain in the ass. So I guess that's the benefit of not being popular. You don't disappoint as many people. But yeah. It's really windy today. I don't know if there might be a bit of interference because of how windy it is. I hate the wind. It's so brutal, but what can you do? It's still pretty nice though. I mean, as long as you dress a little bit for the wind, once you got that covered, it's not bad. At least when the wind comes up, you don't have to worry about mosquitoes. And plus, you got to dress a little bit for the wind, and that protects you from those other mosquitoes that sneak through there. Yeah. This is my black sweater. Somebody gave me this sweater on my first walk to Beaver Lodge when I first started walking to raise awareness for suicide prevention. It was really appreciated, and I still appreciate it. This sweater has worn out quite a bit, actually. It's a little frayed on the edges, but it still keeps me warm. Yeah. I'm really happy I have it. And as long as it doesn't get like super hot on me or something. Oh, look who it is. It's the Schofield kid. He's asking what's cooking. Not me. I'll say I'm not cooking. It's not that hot out. Ha ha ha. Bad pun. But I'm just headed to go visit my dad there, but it's going to take me half an hour, 45 minutes to walk there, so I thought I would finally get my live stream in. I'm an hour late. I was supposed to start at 6, but we started closer to 7. And yeah. How's things going with you there? It sounds like things were getting a little stressful at home after doing some traveling there. I'm hoping to pick some Saskatoons today. It's Saskatoon season. Oh. Schofield Kid says there's a million projects waiting for me. Well, it's nice to keep busy, especially it's not winter time, so we can do so much more in the winter time, or when it's not winter time. I think that goes for most places in the world. Where as long as it's not winter time and it's not pouring rain, we got options and we can do stuff. But, because stuff can be done inside, we can even do stuff when it's winter time and rain time. I don't know why I jumped straight to the weather. But yeah, I got one of those cloth shopping bags in my pocket, and I'm going to try to fill that with Saskatoons, because they're good in purple right now, and that means they're good to pick. I was sampling them the other day, and I wasn't careful enough, and I got a little bit of Saskatoon juice on my cape there. I kind of regretted that a little bit, but oh yeah, Saskatoons, they are delicious. If you haven't tried them, I recommend them. I was just having this conversation with somebody else today about how difficult it is to describe them. But that's kind of true with a lot of fruit. Like, I don't know how I would describe a pineapple to somebody who's never had a pineapple before. It's just, you know, Saskatoons are Saskatoon flavored, pineapples are pineapple flavored. Although I argue that there is almost kind of a combination of pine and apple flavors, or maybe that's just my mind trying to make sense of the name. I don't know if that's actually how a pineapple tastes. But nobody really takes advantage of our Saskatoon bushes in town here. And it's a shame because it's just a whole bunch of free fruit that you can just collect. And I'm waiting for apple season too, because there's plenty of crabapple trees. Yeah, well, in some ways, blueberries are like Saskatoons on steroids, just size-wise, because most of the time you get Saskatoons, they're not as big as blueberries, but they are a similar color, because you'll get blue and purple. But the Saskatoon berry, the juice from that, well, it really, really stains, because it's like a dark, dark purple. And for the most part, seems like blueberries nowadays a lot of them are actually green on the inside. I don't know if they were always like that, or is that just modern blueberries that are like that? Or just the ones I get. But they're kind of like blueberries on steroids in how much they produce. Because blueberries are on like a little bush, where the Saskatoon is a giant, huge freaking tree that reaches up into the sky. And that's the really bad thing about people not, hey Rich, about people not picking them, is they only produce berries where they get picked. And because birds are the ones picking them, now there's all these Saskatoon bushes by the trails, and all the Saskatoons are like miles high, where you could have Saskatoons all the way up the branch if people would just pick at them a little bit. Like, even the birds can't keep up with the Saskatoon bush. Wouldn't mind finding a good raspberry patch too. But off the top of my head, I can't actually think of where to find one. I think I know where some raspberries are, but I can't remember how big of a supply it is. I think it's just like one little plant, not like a whole bush, like a whole area infested with raspberries. Oh, interesting. Schofield Kid says it says the Cree people used to use them for a good source of vitamin C. Oh, wow. That's interesting. I like learning facts. Thanks for looking that up. I appreciate facts. Yeah, they're really filling. Well, I guess it depends on how many you get. If you eat enough of anything, I suppose it's filling. That's kind of the nice thing about Saskatoons, is you can usually get a bunch of them. They're good producers. Where what's the other one? Like I said, apples. They're another good producer too. And I like apples in all seasons. I like them when they're not ripe yet and they're really super sour. I love that. I love them when they're ripe. I love them when they're overripe. I just love crab apples in all season. They're just really good. I'm just a big crab apple fan. Wouldn't mind, like, I don't drink alcohol, but I wouldn't mind learning how to make apple wine or something, just because it's neat to find ways to use apples and stuff like that. I would like to figure out a way to preserve apples, like make an applesauce or dehydrate them or something, because I would like to pick more apples than I could eat, because right now I just kind of pick what I can eat, and I don't go any farther than that. But it would be nice to get a whole bunch and make applesauce or something, and then have it for like the winter time, you know? Because the apples just go to waste. Like, you see them, they're just on the ground, and it's like, you could have picked that apple before it fell off. And honestly, the ones on the ground, a lot of them aren't even that dirty. But I think it's a lot better if you pick them rather than pick them up off the ground. Wouldn't be hard to set up some kind of a catch system where you set up some bags or like a sheet or something, and then all the apples could just fall onto that, and then you wouldn't even have to pick them. You just come and collect the ones that have fallen. But they're short little trees. You might as well pick them too. You might as well pick them. Because what I would like to, well, the thing is, wouldn't it be a perfect world if I could like turn them into something that I could give to the homeless people? But you got to worry about like food handling permits and things like that. Like people give away food without worrying about those permits and things. But when I'm making my own stuff, like I would be so concerned about something going wrong. I would eat it myself. Like I have no problem picking fruit and eating it myself. And I would never want to hand it out just in case there was a bug in it or something. I'm not the store. I don't have like standards and stuff like that. But like I'll eat fruit that I pick, and I would like to show other people where the fruit is so they can pick it themselves. Because I'd mentioned that on a previous live stream. I think it was a previous live stream where. Yeah, Schofield Kids. I'm going to have to try some of these. Try some one of these days. I recommend it. If you can get a hold of some Saskatoons, check them out. Also, the crab apples. The crab apples are really good. I don't know if everybody has those. I assume that crab apples are all around the world, but I'm just assuming that. Because we got a lot of crab apples. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying is Skyline has one of those QR code stickers, and he puts this sticker all over the place, and it like directs you to services and and even fruit trees apparently, which I think is a really cool idea. Skyline really has his shit together as far as real life superheroes go. He's doing a great job. But boy, he is YouTube famous, I tell you. Like every you're watching something on YouTube and you go to comment and bam, people are asking, where's the Skyline at? Why isn't this guy talking about Skyline? And it's like, YouTube hasn't caught up with Skyline yet. There's some people have registered Skyline exists, but I would say more people need to what's his name? He went out. Rex Velvet, the guy who was challenging Phoenix Jones, wanted to be his real-life supervillain. I think that Rex Velvet and Skyline Superhero should have a conflict or a crossover or something. That would be a highly edited, polished YouTube extravaganza, I tell you what. I think we may have had this conversation before. The Schofield Kid says, I use crab apples in my hard cider, surprisingly sweet when they're aged. Yeah, it's amazing how many flavors you get out of a crab apple, Like, that's what I love about them. Because I love them when they're really fresh and they're like super sour. But I also love them when they're old and they're dried out. I really appreciate like it's like at least three different fruits in one, depending on when you pick them. What I would really like to get into is growing my own strawberries, though. But I would like to grow the wild variety. I don't know if you ever find wild strawberries. They're very hard to find. And most of the time they only grow this teeny tiny little strawberry that's probably closer to the size of a raspberry than what you would think a strawberry would look like. But it's the most delicious strawberry you ever had. It's so good. Used to find them every now and then. I feel like you don't find little wild strawberry plants that produce fruit anymore. I don't know why that is. Maybe I'm just not looking in the right spots, you know? Just because I haven't found something doesn't mean it's not there. Oh yeah, check this out. This is our time capsule. It's going to be open in like 10 years, I think. Where is it? What does it say? Yeah, it's going to be opened on July 26, 2036. It was opened on 2011, July 26, 2011, on the 20th anniversary of the park, by His Worship Mayor Bill Given and Muskie the Muskosaurus. I think it's funny when you include mascots on a plaque. Yeah, but it'll be opened on the 50th anniversary. So yeah, get psyched about that in 10 years. You know, looking at a time capsule. That's always cool. But yeah, I'm gonna just keep on walking. This is Muskogee Park, and it's a really nice place. There's the pond over there. I'm not sure if you can't really see it from here. Oh, Chofield Kid says, yes, OMG. Is that to the strawberry thing, or is that to the time capsule? Like, yes, oh my god, time capsule. I assume you're talking about the strawberry, because they're so good. Let's just talk about how awesome wild strawberries are and how rare they are. They're this little gem of fruit. I feel like wild cherries used to be, well, I guess they weren't wild cherries. There's just a whole bunch of different kinds of cherries. I get confused because I think I'm going to eat one kind of cherry and then I go, oh, these cherries are really small. But really, that's just the kind of cherries they are. And then you get the big fat cherries with the huge pit in them, and you gotta be careful not to like crack your tooth on them. That is kind of the problem with cherries. I really love cherries. They taste really good. But has somebody developed like a seedless cherry? Do seedless cherries exist? Because that would be really cool. Love a good seedless watermelon, you know? I think I just love any watermelon. The seeds in a watermelon aren't really that big of a problem. Like, if you ate one of them, it would be no big deal. Ah, yes, Schofield Kid did say wild strawberries, yes. I would really like to learn what kind of mushrooms are edible, because I come across them every now and then. But apparently people who... Ooh, dog's getting upset over there. Apparently people who've like picked mushrooms their whole life still end up making mistakes when it comes to picking mushrooms. And so maybe it's just something that I shouldn't venture into. But it would be nice to be able to make use of like the wild mushrooms and stuff. Is the beaver down here? No, I don't see no beaver. Let's take a look at the beaver dam. Oh, Schofield Kid says we grow a lot of pie cherries around here. Pie cherries. I bet you those are tasty. Yeah, the river looks real nice. Right down there, there's a bit of a beaver dam forming. It'll be all the way across the river in no time. Busy beavers, I tell you. Good symbol of industry, because boy do they work hard. See, I like just think of how big they are. Like, I mean, they're big for a rodent, but I mean, like, they're small compared to like a dog, you know. Like, if they're a dog, they're a small dog. But yet they can haul like a whole freaking tree they cut down. That's impressive. Like, the weight to body ratio of a beaver is like an ant, you know. Like, the way ants can haul like big huge things is pretty close to the size difference of a beaver hauling a fallen tree. Because you've seen like the size of trees that end up in beaver dams and stuff. They're freaking huge sometimes. Not all the time, but there can be some sizable trees in there. Maybe I'm just overestimating the beaver a little bit, but think beavers are really cool. They have those, what do they call beaver burrows now? They're not burrows, they're like wood structures that have like underground entrances. They're really cool. Did I say underground? I meant underwater. Yeah, beavers are cool. They have a special toenail on one of their feet that secretes oil. So they like coat themselves in toe oil, and it makes them like waterproof, or at least to some degree it makes their hair hydrophobic. I always gotta, just because, hey there, bear statue. Just see it in the daytime for once. I feel like I'm always getting here when it's dark. Not as busy today. I think the wind has scared everybody away. The weather was so nice the other day, and so everybody was out walking. But today, it's a windy one. Which it often is. Grande Prairie is a very windy city. Gotta check what time it is. It is 7:30 right now. Yeah, no, I think I'll be alright. Oh, really? Big beaver. Schofield Kid says, the beaver I saw a while back was about the size of a medium dog. That's pretty crazy. I mean, like, beavers can get really freaking big, though. So I'm not saying it's crazy, like, untrue. That's just, that's a big beaver. They apparently get bigger the older they get, from what I understand. It's kind of like some beavers are probably just bigger than other beavers, but a lot of the times if you see a big beaver, it's just a really old beaver. I think out of animals in the wild that I don't want like attacking me, the beaver is actually pretty high on the list. Oh, the weather is real good. Except for the wind. But other than that, it's really nice and sunny. Oh yeah, there's graffiti on the exercise machine now. I should come back with some hand sanitizer, and it would probably wipe this off. Hand sanitizer. Oh look, somebody took care of it already. There was graffiti here on the seat here the last time I was here, and somebody has already come and mostly wiped it off. You can still kind of see what it says. Sit you ass. I think it said sit you ass down, but I can't quite read it anymore. But it is there, barely. But some nice person, I think that's nice. I'm debating going around the college and stopping at the Dollarama, because man, the snacks at the hospital cost so much. It's $3.50 for a bottle of pop, like a little bottle of pop. Like, that's ridiculous. Oh yeah, and I noticed they actually have Dollarama chocolate bars in the vending machine, and they're charging $2.25 for them, when you can buy them two for $1.25. They're taking a 65-cent chocolate bar and they're charging $2.25 for it. You know, that's a good profit right there. Yeah, Schofield Kid says they can be very territorial. Yeah, but luckily beavers are one of those animals that gives you a lot of warning. Same thing goes for skunks. Like, skunks usually don't just spray you unless you like surprise them. a beaver will like slap its tail and do a bunch of things to like let you know that it's pissed off. Usually get some warning. I'm not saying they'll all warn you, but in my experience, they make themselves known. But I still wouldn't want one to come after me. Because, man, they chew down a tree with them teeth. Imagine what they could do to your leg. That's my logic. It might be that their teeth just aren't made for it. They might not be the same kind of teeth, you know, like you might not be able to do damage. I'm not sure which way I'm walking here because I normally don't walk this direction. I think I can walk this way. Hopefully I'm not walking into a dead end here. Oh no, I can walk through here. I just couldn't see the way through, but I can see clearly now. I had a really good walk talk today. It was my 50th episode of Walk Talk. I actually recorded it the first time, and then I recorded a totally different version that was completely different for the most part, because I got a bunch of questions on a YouTube comment, not on one of my videos, but on another YouTuber's video. Somebody was asking me about being a real-life superhero, and so I answered the questions on video on the 50th episode of Walk Talk. And there were some really great questions. You know, it was like real simple stuff like, how'd you get started? Or no, not how'd you get started. Why do you do what you do? And so I got to explain, you know, the whole motivation behind it, and the fact that a little while back, Grande Prairie was called Canada's most dangerous city. So it was like Canadian Gotham City. And at the same time, me and my buddy are watching Phoenix Jones do all this stuff and really make a name for the real superhero community, real life superhero community. And then it was it was my best friend Brandon committing suicide that was really the thing that got me out in the world. Like, I was preparing to do the real life superhero thing and preparing and training and making my equipment, and I was just never getting out there, you know? But then I had a reason to get out there. I was gonna raise awareness for suicide prevention. I was gonna do it with the freaking cape on, and I was gonna introduce myself to the world, you know? And yeah, I didn't give that big long of an answer, but I answered his questions, and it was really cool, because I really like when people ask questions about the real life superhero thing, because it gives me a chance to speak my mind about stuff. Like, and one of the other questions was, what would you say to somebody considering getting into the real life superhero thing? And I answered in the YouTube comments, but I also answered on video on my 50th episode of Walk Talk, and I gave similar but like differing answers. And it pretty much came down to look at the real life superhero community that exists already, and take from it what you will that you think is like a good positive example of being a superhero, and also look at how you think you can improve upon it. And yeah, I would like to get like more questions like that, because it's I got a bunch of stuff all pent up inside me, and I want to talk about stuff, you know, like I want to raise awareness for suicide prevention. Not just raise awareness, I want suicide to end. But I don't know how to do that. I have no fucking idea how to do that. I know that that's a seemingly unachievable feat, but I also know that there is a way to make that happen. I just don't know what it is. it may not be within my power, but I know I'm going to try as hard as I possibly can. And maybe the solution will not be found in my time. As much as I would like the solution to be found in my lifetime, maybe it's just not possible. But I will continue to raise awareness for suicide prevention, and I will continue to do it as a real-life superhero and do my stunts to raise more awareness, because a bigger stunt gets more eyes on you and shows how much I'm willing to do. Like, you want to know how much I care? I don't know. Tell me how many miles you need me to carry the pallet to prove to you how much I care. But at the same time, I'm not having a good time personally. My dad's not doing very good. He's got cancer. I just recently found that out. And it's a matter of finding out what kind of cancer so they can figure out how to treat it. But the thing and I'm worried about that. I'm definitely worried about the cancer. But the thing that's really breaking me right now is he's already kind of given up, and I don't know. Like, I want to congratulate everyone for getting to this day in human history, and I don't know how to say that to him in a way that will mean something to him, you know? Like, I want my dad to want to live, but how do I convince him to live when he's in so much pain? And now we have, and that's why I don't like our medical system giving people the option to end their life, because people are in pain. They're going to make choices they wouldn't normally make. And so I'm worried, you know. As much as I'm Captain Canada, Grand Prairie's real-life superhero, I don't feel very fucking super when I can't help my dad, you know? I've never felt so powerless, you know? Well, there may have been times I felt more powerless, but I do feel incredibly powerless in this moment. I wish I could just go in, oh, it's all good. Well, it's not good, but I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. Schofield Kid says, sorry, man. No, it sucks, but I just wish there was something I could do as Captain Canada, because that's my whole thing, is I want to convince people to live life and to choose life. But my dad thinks I'm crazy for wearing a cape, you know? He thinks he went wrong somewhere, and that's why I dress up like this. And so I can't come to him as Captain Canada and tell him, live life to the fullest while you still can. I want to just say that to him, you know? But I know how he is, and I don't think he would take it well. I think he would take it as kind of a toxic positivity, I think is the way to put it. Because that's always what I fear being, is toxic. I don't want to be positive with no brain or anything like that. I want to honestly convince people that life is worth living. You know, I don't want to just say it and say it over and over again and just annoy people. I want to actually convince people that life is worth living, and that I'm willing to do anything to prove that life is worth living. Yeah. But like I said, I don't feel very super when there's nothing I can do. But we're all human, I suppose. But I'm gonna just run in and grab a chocolate bar and a pop. That's 7:43. got time. I'm gonna just turn the camera off for a second, and I'm gonna set my shield in the boot area here. And I need a cheap chocolate bar and a cheap soda pop. I love Dollarama because things are inexpensive. Let's see here, where are the pops at? Red pop there. It's a little bit busy. I think a Pepsi would be a good idea. Yeah. Pepsi. Okay, we got a Pepsi. And we're gonna grab a chocolate bar. Maybe I'll get a bag of chips instead.
Here's the mom.
Yeah, a little bag of Doritos.
Insert cash or select payment type. Thank you for shopping at Dollarama. Welcome. Please scan your first item. Welcome. Please scan your one. Insert cash or pay another way. Thank you for shopping at Dollarama.
Have a good day. Alrighty. Alrighty, we got a bag of chips and pop. Right here is terrible cape standing area because the wind loops back on you. Whoa, what's going on over there? Okay, motorbike, I guess. Guess they're having fun. That's the important thing. And thank you for the upvote, whoever just landed the second upvote there. I really appreciate that. I'm just loading up on snackages before I head back over. Well, not back over. I haven't been there today. I have trying to be there every day. Heading over to the hospital again. Yeah, in case you're a new viewer. There, I assume there must be a new viewer because that's the second upvote. Damn. Sometimes you forget how good Doritos are. Those are good Doritos. I'm not a big fan of any other flavor of the Doritos. I'm a classic Doritos man, you know. I mean, why mess with success? I won't eat the whole bag right here. I'll save that for later. It's a nice thing about wearing my sweater. I got the big pocket on the front. Can carry more stuff. The wind is kicking up. It's crazy. It's crazy, I tell you. Oh, that wind is nuts. Yeah. No, it's other than the wind, it's a beautiful day. But that wind is a big part of what kind of a day it is. Yeah, no, one more, dude. One more. Man, no, Doritos are good. Every once in a while, I get the Ariba chips. They're good. They're a quality nacho chip, but they're just not quite as good as Doritos. And they very much want to be Doritos. They're like the competitor, I would say. Doritos are just better. I don't know. Anybody out there on the debate between Pepsi and Coke? I don't care which one I drink. I drink Pepsi or Coke. Sometimes I lean towards one for a while, and then I'll switch over to the other one. And I always get Pepsi at Dollarama because it's cheap at Dollarama, and they got Pepsi. For some reason they don't get Coke, because they get it like marked down. Everything, I assume they get it like marked down from somewhere else. That's why it's so cheap. But yet they're still restricted to a brand, I guess. I don't completely understand how the whole Dollarama thing works. For a while, Dollarama sold $4 two packs of Red Bull, and it was like pretty much the best deal on Red Bull around. And I asked the Red Bull guy about it, because you see them with the Red Bull trucks, and I was like, so how come Dollarama is able to have those $4 two packs of Red Bull? And I don't remember exactly what he said, but the Red Bull guy seemed to think that they were like breaking some kind of rules, that Dollarama was breaking rules by selling Red Bull for as cheap as they were selling it. And it didn't stay that way forever. You can't get the $4 two packs anymore. Damn, they were a good deal though. Like $4 for two Red Bull, that is a hell of a deal. It's not as cheap as the 66-cent can of pop. Oh no, 75-cent can of pop, but it's still pretty cheap especially for Red Bull, because it's notoriously not cheap, I just don't want to walk with this can of pop because I want to stream and I got a shield in the. I can carry it in my other hand, but it looks goofy when you carry stuff in your shield hand. I discovered that right away, that if you carry something in your shield hand, it looks like you're on guard, and it's kind of goofy. So that's why I don't hold my phone on my shield arm. I did at first, but it made me realize that people were kind of looking at me a little weird because it looked like I was, like I said, on guard, and that's not what I want. I want to be relaxed and mellow, posture is very important. You know, you can come across way too intimidating just with the wrong posture. You know, if you walk like you're looking for trouble. You know, I don't know how to put that into words. What am I saying exactly? Like, well, I guess just don't run at people. That's just a big, not so much a posture thing, but a body language thing. Because when you run at somebody or you run into a situation, a lot of times you're adding excitement into a situation that doesn't need to be there. So running should be an emergency thing, you know? That was my problem. One of my problems with Phoenix Jones is he was notorious for running into situations, and sometimes that's not a bad idea, you know? And but you gotta, like, think about it, you know? And, like, he was running into situations and just spraying people with... I was going to say spray paint, but I meant to say mace, you know, and that just leads to all sorts of problems. It still makes me think of that video where that girl was swatting him with her shoe, and he's like, I'm all right, I'm wearing body armor, and she's like, I don't give a shit, what is it, Halloween? Yeah, it was pretty funny, gotta be honest, like, he was trying to help, you know, that's his whole thing. You know, I respect Phoenix for doing his part, trying to make a difference and all that, but when you're walking around with a high-powered kind of mace, it's going to lead to issues, man. Like, you have it, you're probably going to find an excuse to use it, and you're going to have a bad time, or somebody's going to have a bad time. It would be crazy for me to carry mace because I'm asthmatic, and I would have to worry about ending my own life by poofing a cloud of mace in the air. It would very well probably be the end of me if I accidentally suck some of that stuff down. And for the same reason, I wouldn't want to use it on somebody else, because you never know who has a breathing problem. Asthma is pretty common nowadays. It's amazing how often you run into somebody who has asthma now. I remember, and when I was a kid, I remember asthma being uncommon. But it's like you grow up and you meet more people, and it's not like it was probably just as common. I just didn't know as many people who had asthma when I was a kid. You know, the world is smaller when you're a kid. You know, you haven't learned as many things. Hey, another upvote. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. But yeah. But anytime I criticized Phoenix Jones, that was one of the answers to my questions, was basically saying that I was inspired by Phoenix Jones, you know, putting the word out in the real life superhero community, not in the real life superhero community, to the world. Like, he was outside of just the community. He was on the news and shit, you know, like I think everybody, not necessarily everybody, because different people operate in different ways, but I think a lot of real-life superheroes, we would really love the attention that Phoenix Jones got, because, like, I'm raising awareness for suicide prevention, and I would love to use a bigger platform to raise awareness with, you know, and Phoenix had his platform for a long time, and he was able to say all the things that he did, and that's why there's a million freaking documentaries about Phoenix Jones, is because he put himself out there, and now he's instilled in the community. Now, the quote, you either die a hero or live long enough to become a villain, is no longer a Batman quote, no longer a Dark Knight quote. It is a Phoenix Jones quote, because everybody makes that joke when they find out about the downfall of Phoenix Jones. It's hilarious how much people use that. It just makes me laugh. But yeah, I'm ready to go. It's a pretty nice day once you get around the wind. Oh, hey! That's right, I need to look at my settings. I don't know what to name my YouTube. Said hi, but they left a comment earlier saying that they are trying to say more than that, and something has gone wrong, and that's all they can say for some reason. So I'm going to go into my settings And yeah, I hate, for some reason, my chat filter is always on top messages. And I need to switch that to all messages. Okay, okay. Yeah, I think I fixed it. Because now it says hello, and you're waving, and you got some emojis there, and a smiley face. Yeah, I think I've unlocked your other comments here by changing the filter on the settings there. So sorry about that. I think the problem has actually been solved now. Oh, I just got to switch hands because my cape is interfering with my shield the way the wind is blowing. Gotta do that every once in a while. Rock and roll, yes, let's go. Says I don't know what my name on YouTube 2400. Yeah. I'm glad we solved that. Thank you for leaving that comment earlier. I forgot to look in my settings, but as soon as I seen you there, I remembered to check that out. Yeah, no, long-time viewer. I don't know what to name my YouTube 2400. They have been trying to comment on my videos for a long time now, and I really appreciate them for hanging in there. Thanks for not abandoning me because of technical difficulties. Oh, excuse me, I don't mean to burp on camera there. And I don't know what to name my YouTube. And I love saying your name, it's so long. YouTube 2400 says, I am so happy now. Well, I am happy too, brother. I'm really glad we got that figured out. I'm just on my way to the hospital to visit my dad right now. And yeah, so I got on the live stream a little later than I planned on. I was going to get on here at 6, but I got on at 7. And now you say, it's been a while, I never give up. Well, I appreciate your persistence. Yeah. So, what's new with you? See any good movies lately? I've been really wanting to see that Backrooms movie. I think it might not even be in theaters anymore. And everybody's been hating on the Supergirl movie, so I'm curious about that too. It's a windy as shit day here in Grand Prairie. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, are you talking Backrooms or Supergirl? Sorry, I was talking and not reading. Lucky you going to the theaters. It's always a treat to be able to get into the theaters. Backers. Oh, was it good? It looked like it was going to be so good. But I don't want to like get overly hyped or everything. Don't, like, you know, it's all right if it wasn't the perfect movie. I understand not every movie's perfect. Because there's some really good YouTube videos. Actually, I think the guy who made the movie actually started off making YouTube videos about the Backrooms. Oh, he says, I was amazing. I'm going to assume you mean it was amazing. That's awesome. I'm really glad to hear it was good. Because, like, when I first saw the previews for it, I got hyped. You know, I try not to get too overly hyped about movies because I hate getting let down. But I wanted to see something a little bit different, you know? Yeah, I meant it was amazing. Yeah, no, I got you, brother. I got you. Yeah, no, it's, I love going to the theaters and seeing something different. That's kind of why I liked that, what was it called? The Bride? That weird Frankenstein movie that came out a little while ago. That movie was so nanners. I kind of loved it. But also, if somebody said that was a bad movie, I'd be like, yeah, I get where you're coming from, you know? Even though it's windy, that sun is really bright right now. Like, check it out. It's so sunny and bright and beautiful. Hey, we got 4 viewers. We're doing pretty good. Yeah. Something that I've been bringing up a lot on my my other live streams. I am tearing up. I'm so happy to see that you can see what I'm saying. Yeah, brother, I know, it's awesome. And like all this time you've been like screaming into the void, and all I can read is say hi. I thought that was just your thing. I thought you were just gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna stop in and say hi and not say anything else as like a joke. And I kind of thought it was funny, to be honest, but it makes so much more sense that something was wrong. It's like, okay, that's what's going on. Yeah, no, I'm really glad that we're able to communicate. But yeah, no, what I was saying is, and this is something that I'm going to talk about a lot, is because I do the real life superhero thing. I want the word superhero to mean something, but I also realize it means something different to everybody, and that's okay too. But to me, I want it to mean something like you can do something super, you know? And that's why I do my stunts. That's why I carry my pallet. And that's why I carried the pallet 50 miles in May. Because I want to do super things. I want to, like, break records and do things that maybe haven't been done before. Because I want to, like, you know, transcend barriers and like, raise the bar and stuff, you know? Yeah, no, and the thing is, there's a lot of other people in the real-life superhero community who basically say they have superpowers. And I'm not one of those guys. I don't believe I have superpowers. But I also don't want to be mean to the people who say they have superpowers. I want to just challenge them and say, okay, if you got superpowers, then I want you to prove it. I want you to do something super, lift a world record breaking amount of weight on camera. Go ahead and prove that you have super strength. That would be really cool. But I think that potentially leads to like conflict. But I want to be a critic of other real life superheroes. Oh, sorry, I was literally saying, dude, you see him, but not like what you. I think I get what you're saying. I was seeing your say hi, but not anything else, and I am really sorry for that. That's got to be really frustrating. But that's just it. Is out of all the real life superheroes, there are many who claim to have superpowers and stuff like that. But I don't know who's actually considered to be the strongest real life superhero. And I would like, you know, to kind of challenge other real life superheroes to like, okay, I do my pallet thing. I carry my pallet 10 in May. That's my feat of strength. So if another real life superhero wants to do the same feat of strength, that would be really cool. Or do a bigger feat of strength and like outdo me, and then it would be like a challenge, you know? But it would also be neat if they also raised awareness for suicide prevention, and we could make that an even bigger thing. I think that would be fantastic. But yeah, I want to use like competitive nature in like a positive way. You know, I'm not competitive at all, but when it comes to being a real life superhero, I think I could be a little competitive. I want to be the best that no one ever was. Or maybe that other people have been before me and I can be like them. Maybe somebody was like that. It was not frustrating. I was just trying to figure it out, and I was happy to see your streams. Oh, well, thanks, brother. I really appreciate that. Because I do chat with people on the streams and everything, but I'm not always sure if everybody's enjoying what's going on, because I got a kind of a variety of things that happen on my streams, you know. And sometimes, well, if my buddy Don stops by in the streams, he'll say some pretty edgy things. And so I hope he doesn't scare many people off. But at the same time, edgelords are people too. But I also understand when people have kind of had enough of them. And so I also have a moderator. And so at some point in time, I don't know what to name my YouTube 2400 says, I do live in Canada. Oh, well, hello, fellow Canadian. I'm glad to hear there's another Canadian watching my stream. It always surprises me because I never know where people are watching from. And like one day somebody said they were from Kenya. One guy said he was from Germany. But I think the majority of my viewers are Canadian, actually. It's just not everybody says it. And I don't know that somebody isn't Canadian until they ask me if I live in Canada. Which, you know, I thought the whole Captain Canada thing would be a dead giveaway on that, but fair enough. I could call myself Captain Canada and be from Poland, you know. It'd be kind of weird, but why not? But yeah, I do hate to say it though. I am gonna have to be ending the stream in a couple minutes here because I am at the hospital now and I gotta visit my dad for a bit here. But I'm gonna try to get on stream later tonight. I'm not exactly sure when I'll get on or how long I'll stream for. But yeah, I want to do some more streaming tonight because I just have the energy to do it, you know. Oh, okay? If you watched until the end, then you saw the real good stuff. There could be some pretty colorful things being said, especially on those late night streams. I got pretty mad at Don there on the Father's Day stream. That was when I met Don, actually. And, well, he was being the edgelord that he was, and so I called him some names. And by the end of it, we're friends, and so I think it worked out. Rock and roll, brother. I'm just glad that I can see you now, too. And like I say, I really appreciate you holding on for as long as you did. I knew you were there. I saw you in my subscribers list, and I saw you show up in the comments. I always appreciated you, but it's cool being able to actually connect with you now. And I'm glad that yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I'm glad that somebody witnessed me and Don's epic battle. But you say, I never give up. You're damn right you don't. And kudos to you. So I'm going to say goodbye for the night. So let's do a shout out for I don't know what to name my YouTube 400. Shout out to you. You're awesome. And I'm Captain Canada, Joseph Roszell. I want to thank you for watching. I want to wish you all luck in the world. I love you, and I want you to remember that suicide is never, ever the answer. Peace out. For now. I'll awkwardly end the stream. All right. Love you.